Las Vegas, Sandy Kastel and friends.
Welcome to Sandy Kastel and Friends, produced by Michael Leonetti. Sandy Kastel has been entertaining audiences for years on stage, screen, radio, and television. And for the next 60 minutes, she'll be talking with local and international performers, artists, authors, celebrities, and more, with special features like women in music and arts, shopping at Smith's, cooking with Chef Michael, and staying fit and fabulous forever. Now, let's bring on the host. Here is Sandy Kastel.
Good morning, everybody. Fooled you again. Sandy's not here this morning. She's in school with the real estate, but she will be here tomorrow. But what a wonderful day. What a wonderful day. Good morning, everybody, and thank you very much. There's my cousins out there. They got their pepperoni sandwiches. They're eating up, sticking up the neighborhood. What am I going to do? Anyway, I feel so great today because we got a wonderful dais. We have Guy Lombardo here, and we have Ted Weens. A lot of people say, these guys are dead. That's Joey Vespi. Now, we have Ricky Cash in the studio with me today from Vegas Unwrapped, and Aaron, did I say that right?
Close enough.
Aaron.
Like Moses'
brother. Moses' brother, Aaron Phillips. They're here, and they're going to co-host the show with me. It's just us in the studio. I said, you know something? I want to do something different today. I know everybody's listening back on home. What's Mike going to say now? What this crazy bastard's going to come up with? You know, but we have a lot of fun. We enjoy ourselves. And stop banging. John over here, John Styles, is banging stuff. Get back here, Johnny. That's right. Get back here, Johnny.
He eventually wants to be on the front of the camera. That's why.
Yes, he does. You know, and I said this. You know, I miss Sandy. She's the best. Am I right? Don't you think she's phenomenal?
Absolutely.
There's no question about it. But you bring something different to the table. You know,
a dish of spaghetti and meatballs.
Like where the hell were the bagels? You know, it's funny. Last night we did a show. Aaron and I. We left here, and I said to him, you know, I haven't really eaten much today, and when I get home, I'm not having anything. He said, why not? I said, because tomorrow morning when we're on the Sandy Kastel show, and you know, with Chef Michael, we're gonna have that bagel spread, you know, with the bagels and the cream cheese and the prosciutto and the gabagool and all that good stuff. Gabagool, whatever that is. Gabagool.
Sounds like a ghost.
And I come in here and they're chocolate donuts.
Well, there's budget cutbacks.
I spoke to your wife yesterday.
Yes.
And she said, Mike, my husband is going on a training program, and for some reason at the age of 86, he wants to be a ballerina. Now, why does this guy want to do something like that? Maybe he's a cross-dresser like John Styles. I don't know. But I'm only teasing you. But anyway, today's going to be wonderful. It's a wonderful day. I feel great. And, you know, I like to talk about WEMA, you know, Sandy's organization, because once a month, you know, we have that show at our house. It's $25 a ticket. All the money goes to charity. You know, and what's nice about it, John Styles said something very, very profound to me this morning. He said that Kevin SpaceX made a statement. He says, when you're on the top, he says it's important, it's like an elevator. It's important to put that elevator down to grab somebody else. Because once you're up there, where do you go from the top? And that's the reason I believe what Sandy did is to help these people make money. We get this charity. We try to do our best for the young people that are out there, the singers, the people in art, because it was women. Now it's men in music and art. It's not only women, it's men. You know, then yesterday Jolie was here, and I was impressed because I says to Jolie's wife, I says, you know, behind every great man, there's a woman. In my life, it's Sandy. You know what I mean? It's the truth. And before Sandy, it was my mother. My mother's 85 years old, and she still calls me mom. She calls me mommy. Would you believe the Italian people do that? What do you call the grandparents in the
Bubby and Zeta?
Bubby and Zeta, right? So the Italians will say mommy, right? And then if you have a little girl, you call her daddy. Now, for the ones that are Italians out there, they understand what I'm talking about. And anyway, you know, it's so beautiful. And Jolie's wife, and I says to her, I says, you know, Perko, what do you do to inspire him? She says, well, he buys me brand new shoes. these high heels, and I got to walk around naked. And Jolie, gives Jolie the inspiration to paint these magnificent. No, I'm only teasing.
Oh my goodness,
is that funny?
That was great.
I tell you something. A cook.
Wow.
Forget about it. She is phenomenal.
Baking.
Unbelievable. Yeah. She is great, and she has truffles and bacon, which is great. But yesterday, and we got a caller coming in very soon, FBI, big guy.
Uh-oh.
You know what I mean? That's just when I need another cop up my kazoo.
I'm glad he's calling in instead of being here.
Yeah, really. True.
Don't tell him Ricky Cash is here.
No, he checked you out. And this guy is very interesting. We had him on the show. He couldn't come in. He said, but Mike, I'll call him. He's Italian. He's one of ours.
Sure.
But what happened, and he was, if I'm not mistaken, he was out of Chicago. I could be wrong. Chicago or New York, one of the places. And he was, excuse me, folks. I'm choking on the pepperoni. Was that a lox? It was lox and bagels.
Could have been lox.
Right. He had, he was undercover, and it was his own people, the higher up, and he turned around and he nailed them guys. You know what I mean? And they try to kill him, and he's got a book out. I mean, it's incredible. And I said to him, I got to ask you, his name is Colucci. I said, Mr. Colucci, all jokes aside, from one Italian to another.
Is that Vito?
That's our boy Vito.
No. That's Vito Corleone you're thinking of.
No.
I says, Mr. Colucci, I got to ask you a question. I said, with all sincerity, I said, was it difficult to turn your own in?
Right.
He says, Mike, it's a funny thing. He said, being Italian, I'm proud to be Italian. He said, when somebody does something wrong, right is right and wrong is wrong. He says, and I did what I had to do. And I commend him for that because it's hard. You know what I'm trying to say to you?
It's like turning in your brother, or somebody close in your own family.
It is, and again, like society today, and I don't. And what this show's all about, it's uplifting. I'm not politically. I don't get into politics. That's not my bag. I could care less. Like I said to you so many times, I got a call from my cousin today in New York. I said, how's things come out to Vegas? He said, Mike, things are so bad in Vegas. He said the mob laid off 3 judges. So it was really very difficult. I said that before. But Friday's the big day, ladies and Gentiles, monkeys and reptiles. It's going to be happening at Siena's Italian restaurant. I said, what the hell is trattoria? And Evan said it was a restaurant.
Right.
I never heard trattoria in my life.
That's interesting, given your background.
Listen, I'm from South Philadelphia. South Philadelphia is it's a world in itself. If I go to Italy and me speaking Italian, and many times Giancarlo will talk to me, and I'll look at him dead in the eye, and I don't have a clue what this guy is telling me. The only thing I know, and I'll say to him, "Good morning, sir." And he'll say, "My name is Giancarlo." And I don't know why this guy does that, but
I know.
And I created. He really doesn't do that. But I created that anyway. And Jolie does. I'm a Jolie. These guys, they have that name, Say, "I'm Jolie, Giancarlo."
It's all in the accent.
It's all in the accent. But anyway, what's funny is that I feel good today. And 731-1230. I'll say that again, 731-1230. I know you got your listeners out there. Why don't you call me up? Nice recipe, something that you have in mind you would like me to tell you how to make it. Our website is doing fantastic. The Smith Food King, forgive me. Yes, Smith Food and Drug.
Right.
Okay, I keep saying it's not Smith Food King. They don't have that no more. Smith Food and Drug on Durango. And I got to tell you something. I was there this morning. I love bagels. Their bagels are phenomenal. They're phenomenal. They got all the Smiths are good, but I favor this place for one reason, and if I tell you, you'll never believe it.
Because it's close to your house?
Beside that. The customer service is so incredible at that place. And me being Italian, okay, and love Italian food, I could go to that butcher store in the back and ask for Mike. That man will cut you a piece of meat. You don't get that back.
No.
You used to have that
the
back
old style
there.
butcher shops.
The old style butcher stores used to go back there and do what you had to do, and they would turn around and they would cut you a piece of meat. The shank. We used to make a beautiful beef soup. You know what I want to do? I'm going to give a nice recipe.
Go for it.
I'm going to talk about the beef soup.
Yeah.
All right. Now, and again, we can't go in a butcher store, but that you can go back there. What I want you to do is you get 5 quarts of water. You put it in a pot. Okay. Then you get yourself a beef shank, or the most cheapest piece of meat you can. If you want to buy a chuck roast, all right, not a piece of filet mignon. And what you do is you got to get the bones. The beef bones is the hook of the beef soup. Now what you do is you get your water, you get your onion, you get your meat, get your bones, and let it boil for 2.5 hours. Now, as that's boiling, ladies and gentlemen, you'll get a foam that's on the top, and that's from the marrow of the bone, but that's the flavor. You scoop that off the top, because it takes 4.5 to 5 hours to make beef soup, and I'll tell you why. Because that beef, that big chunk, you want that to melt in your mouth. As that's cooking, I always add 2 cans, believe it or not, for color and for a little bit of flavor, is the diced tomatoes, the stewed tomatoes in the can. I don't see the big ones. I only see those 2 little small ones. And what you do is you put them in there and let that cook. The last hour of the broth that's cooking, then you add you can add parsnips, which I do. It's in the family of the carrot. Parsnips, carrot, and celery. And you add to that, because if you cooked out that vegetables for 3-4 hours, it's going to be mush. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever you do, do not, I repeat, do not peel at all. All right, the carrots or the celery. You want to leave that skin on there so it doesn't mush. And I'm telling you, folks, the beef soup is terrific. You can put some beef barley in it. Okay, the last hour again. Now, what beef barley does, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like a little bag of rice, and you put like a quarter bag of that, because that'll swell up. That thickens it. Now, if you want just the straight flavor, you know what I mean, loose like soup, leave it alone. But if you want to tighten it up, you use cornstarch. But when you do that, folks, you get yourself a half a cup of cornstarch, and then you add water to that cornstarch, and with your hand you mix it up. Make sure it's liquefied, and then you pour that in the sauce. Now, by doing that, it gives a heavy base to it. It's not loose, it's heavy. Very soupy, very heavy. Beautiful. Don't use flour, because when you use flour to tighten it up, you will change the color of that soup. So that is my recipe for today. And thank you, folks. I'm sure everybody's out there right now running out, trying to find out. Let's go to Smith's and let's buy what we need to buy.
Can you add like bow tie noodles in there or something too, or not?
That's afterwards. That's what you do that on the side, and then you pour it over on there. Yeah. Oh, okay. My goodness.
Because I could see that, you add like a little pasta dish or something on the side.
My grandmom used to make that, and the recipe was exactly the same. I mean,
no, it's great, and you could make that. Now I do my soups in the wintertime.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then I can give you and then when I come back, if I have time, I want to give you my French onion.
Oh,
I'm going to show you how to make French onion soup. Ladies and gentlemen, it is so simple. You will not believe it. My French onion soup, that is to die for.
Love it.
Now, I'm looking at the clock. Guess what? 731-1230. Somebody get off your ass, pick up the phone, and call me to say hi, because I got Ricky Cash here from the Temple Beth Shalom. I have Aaron Phillips from St. Vitus Church. And we're here to give absolution and hear your confession. So please give us a call. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't touch that dial. Yeah, baby.
This is Sandy Kastel and Friends. Here again, your host, Sandy Kastel.
Hey, baby, we're back. We're back. That's what I'm talking about. I went back. It was funny. I'm over here, and I said, what happened to Ricky Cash? This guy's in the other room eating the donuts. You tell me you're on a diet, you're sucking them down like they're M&Ms. What is it with you?
It's the fastest I've seen it move in 6 years.
Unbelievable. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I told you earlier in the show, we have a very special guest that's here. You know what I mean? And we had him on the show, and I invited Ricky Cash because they have a segment, but I brought him in the beginning because, when this guy comes on, you want to really ask him some great questions. And I said, with Ricky Cash with me and Aaron Phillips or Evan Phillips or whatever the hell this guy's name is. Aaron, if I say it right?
Aaron. Like Moses' brother.
Let's change the guy named to Frank.
There
Frank
you go.
Phillips.
That's fine.
Or Luigi Phillips.
Luigi.
Okay. We, you want to have some. So on the phone, ladies and gentlemen, right now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce a very special man, a great author, a great Italian, because I know, and I said, are you really Italian? He took off his shoes, and I seen he had purple feet. I said, yes, sir, you're Italian. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Colucci. How are you, buddy? What's up?
Mike, How you doing, my friend?
Hey, paisano, che si dice guaio? Ghianda, guaio.
I tell you, you got those two guys, those two chuches, those two scumbadis, those two stunads in there with you. How can you go? See, they don't even know. They're not Italian.
No, they don't know. They don't know. What would you do?
I know Stunad.
No. I'm going to translate. Frank just said when he called you there's two scumbadis. That means you're wonderful individuals.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say to you?
Right.
Really, and morta da fame. You know what morta da fame means? Dying of hunger, because that's what Philip is. Anyway, so thank you so much for calling, and we had you on the show a couple weeks ago. We had a great response for you. I hope, to the grace of God, that this Friday you're going to get in the car with your wife, all right? Take your Tommy gun, and your backup boys, and come to see the show at Sienna's.
At Sienna's.
You're going to have a ball because Aaron Phillips is there.
What time does that start?
The show starts at 8, but them guys are there from 8 to 9 because we do a live remote with their show at our show.
They are great guys.
And I want to have you on because I'm going to tell you something. Since they've been with us, their radio show has exploded.
Amen.
Exploded because everybody's, because what happens is it takes a team. But anyway, the book that you wrote, tell everybody the name of the book.
The book I wrote is called Rogue Town, R-O-G-U-E, Rogue Town. I have to spell it. When I do it basically an Italian show, I have to spell it because they come back and they say, well, I look up the book Rouge. My wife said, no, Rouge is what I put on my face. The book can't be called Rouge. So I have to spell it. It's Rogue, R-O-G-U-E, Rogue Town, and it's a true story of a city under the stranglehold of organized crime, the corrupt city officials that betrayed the whole public trust, and the undercover cop who wore a wire to help bring them down. And it's been a good book for me. It's partly my life story, but it was close to my heart because those were crazy decades for me. And I'm glad it's been done. It's a story that took me many years to tell, and just having fun with it. It became a good seller that we're halfway through Rogue Town 2 right now, guys.
That's great. It's funny, being Italian and being street guys, because you and I are from the street. We're East Coast guys. See, the East Coast Italians are different than the West Coast Italians. We had Italian neighborhoods, and it was hard because, like me, I used to run numbers for my Uncle Frank. I used to get $5 a week. So my Uncle Frank would let me. People used to book numbers years ago. Now for the people that are listening that don't know what that is, tell them what that is, Frank. Booking numbers, running numbers. Would you know what that is?
Who'd you ask that?
You.
Oh, me? I thought you said Frank.
No. I'm thinking of Frank, the guy that we have another guy named Frank. Frank Mondolani. He's with the Gambino family. He's always with me to protect me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what that means, booking numbers. And of course, you're dealing with an era where you couldn't go into a deli and play the number for the day or things like that. So what they would have a lot of times back where I come from, they'd have what was called box lunches, a whole fleet of those trucks that would cover all parts of the city. And the driver, when he would stop and the guys would come out of the factory to get their sandwiches and everything else, they would also say, hey, give me $2 on 248 today, which means they hand them the extra $2, or the guy writes it on a little piece of paper and gets their money a little bit later on, or whatever it may be. And if the number comes out that day, 248, just like that, then they would hit. $2 would bring them in 1,000, I think, if I remember right, because I think it was $500 for each dollar that you played.
Right.
And that's how that would work. Of course, there's all variations on that. You could do a combination. That means if the 248, just like at a track, sometimes if the combination came in any of those numbers, 428, 842, you would still hit.
They used to call that box, didn't they?
Box. That's right.
My dad used to play the New Jersey lottery that way.
That's right. They would call it combo box. Yeah, box. box 248 for me for $3, blah, blah, blah. And that was a big way of life. And not only that, they were taking horse races back then. And if the guy was a real bookie, you can call him about 6:15, 6:30 that night and get all what they would call the lines on the football game. He would say, all right, the Giants are -6 over the Jets. And you could put your bets in over the phone. So they made a lot of money during that era. And a lot of them did well. A lot of them went on with their life very low-key, existent, didn't bother the cops, drove around in old cars, things of that nature. And the only problem was some of them got involved in the narcotics trade, too. Not only involved in it, got hooked on narcotics themselves. So they went from making close to $1 million a year to losing everything and going to jail for about 8-10 years. So that's a little background, folks, on that.
Well, thank you for that, Mr. Colucci. It's funny, when I think back, being 62, and like I said, years ago, if you look at the old movies,
yep.
James Cagney, you had O'Brien, O'Keefe, Sullivan, you had no Italian cops in the 20s.
No.
They forget about it. All the firemen, them all the Irish guys. It was the Italians. They were street cleaners, organ grinders, pizza makers, Javello water guys. For those that don't know what Javello water is. Javello water, that was Clorox. Then they would say, Javello water, Javello water. And my grandma says, go out and get a gallon. It was like a dime. But my Uncle Frank used to give me, $5 a week was tremendous money. Now,
where did the number come from, though?
He just said it. Comes from the racetrack, the track.
What was it, the handle or something like that?
What was that, Mr.
No,
Colucci?
it was a very unique way of certain races. They would, I don't really know. I was showed it one time, but it does come from a couple of races at whatever track was going on at that time, and they come up with the number. Now, what happens during the daytime, maybe around 3 o'clock or so, the people would be very excited because you had a lot of the ladies doing this stuff too, and the lady would call her cousin up and say, "What's leading?" Which means that you can get the first number. Well, 5's leading. Oh, good. I got 528. That's good. And then if you wanted, you call back, and somebody would know what's the second number, and which would give you the excitement because let's say it was a 5-2, and now the aunt is saying, "Oh, I need an 8. I need an 8. Pray for an 8."
Well, it's funny that Sister Pasqualina.
Yeah.
Because I went to St. Nicholas of Tolentine on 9th and Morris in Philadelphia. And I'm not kidding you. Even the nuns played the numbers. I'm not kidding. Because these were all Italian nuns. They were all from Italy. They all stunk of pepperoni. They had pepperoni in their pocket. And, Anyway. And I used to be my uncle, because they never bothered the kids. I was like 9, 10 years old. He said, Mikey, here's the bag. Go over Jerome's 2 blocks and give him the bag. Now, inside the bag, he said, don't open the bag. We didn't, they didn't staple it. I mean, you got your hands broke. He says, just give him the bag. Inside the bag was like change, because people would play for like a quarter, a dime. Am I right or wrong, Mr. Colucci?
Oh, no.
A nickel. And like my father's number was 208.
A quarter would bring in $125.
And that was big money. My father's rent with the house, the mortgage was $50 a month.
Right.
And that was like a lot of money. So, and my father taught me a prayer. And I want to say the prayer before we go to break. He says, and my father taught me this prayer, God rest his soul. And I used to, 208 was his number. And I would kneel down at the age of 10, and I would say, now I lay me down to slumber. I pray to God I hit the number. If I should die before I wake, put a dime on 208. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. We got our commercial break. Don't hang up, Mr. C. We'll be right back to BS with you. Hold on.
This is Sandy Kastel and Friends. Now, let's bring back the host. Here is Sandy Kastel.
Oh, yeah, I'm back. Hey, Mr. C, guess who's on the line?
Who?
The star of the show, Sandy Kastel.
I was wondering where she is, that gorgeous lady.
Sandy, could you hear me?
Buddy, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're coming in clear.
Okay, well, listen, I'm here at GLVAR, and I'm doing my class today. And I just want to remind everybody, you guys are doing such a great job that you can watch us on YouTube. And if you just Google Sandy Kastel and Friends, you'll find all kinds of our videos of all the shows that we've been doing there at KLAV. Also, Michael, I wanted to remind all of our listeners out there that I've got a brand new home that's listed. It's right in Canyon Gate. It's our home, actually. And we're going to be having a big open house there next Wednesday night, and I want to invite everybody to give us a call, 702-348-5707, and find out about how to get in to the Canyon Gate Country Club so that you can see our home. It's going to be from 5 to 7 p.m. next Wednesday evening.
Right now, the house it's so everybody knows. We live there. It's 10,000 square feet, and
it's just under 10,000.
Right, and everybody's asking, Mike, well, you're on the golf course. The home was in the millions. Why would you want to sell it? And I'll tell you the reason why. I want to tell everybody, I'm tired of chasing Sandy around the house. I'm 62 years old. She hides in the basement. She hides upstairs. Thank God I got a GPS so I can find her so she can make me a meatball sandwich.
Actually, Michael, we found a house that we want to get, and it's a little smaller, you're right, because it's such a big home right now that it's really just too much for me to handle. And the thing of it is about this home, it's on the double fairway at the 18th fairway, and it's a beautiful home. The backyard faces the north, so you get sun all day long on the backyard.
Oh, how nice. The sun,
and
yes.
it's 4 bedrooms, and 5 baths.
Oh, 5 baths.
It's 3 levels. It's 3 levels.
Yes, I know. I chase you all over the damn house.
And the basement. And it has a wonderful studio in the basement, too.
And a wine cellar. So, how much do you want? How much do we want for this house, Andy? Do you want to tell them how much?
It's $2.5 million, and it's a beautiful, beautiful home. Great buy, and we're so excited that it's going to be available to show next Wednesday.
So we're looking for a smaller house, and we went from 10. I said, Sandy, how many square feet? She says, how about 9,000? Well, we got Mr. Colucci.
Actually, we found something about half the size, about 4,000 square feet.
Yeah, and it's still $2 million. Jesus, God in heaven. We have to sell a house to pay for the radio station. Listen to me.
What's great about this home is it's a wonderful, entertaining home, and as everybody knows, we've been having our WEMA events there, and our new home is going to also be very spacious, that we can also have our events there. But this home has been wonderful. I built it back in 2001. I've been living there since 2001. And if anybody has any questions about it, just give me a call at 702-348-5707.
And the electric...
That's 702-348-5707. And, Michael, I got to go.
Don't leave. Come on, sweetheart.
You guys have fun.
Thank you, sweetheart. And that's nice. Thank you, sweetheart. You still there, Mr. Colucci?
I'm still here.
Good, don't hang up. And I've got to tell you, the electric bill is very reasonable. It was only $1,600. Unbelievable. But no, it's a gorgeous house. But like I said, it's just a little too much after all these years. And I got to tell you the truth, ladies and gentlemen, no BS. At the age of 62, I cringe when I got to walk up and down them steps. You know what I mean? And our ceilings are 32 feet high. So it's a very, very big, it's a mansion. It's a beautiful home. And for 2 people, we're looking for something about 5,000, 6,000 in that area, because it sounds like big, but it's really not. Because I could count the times on one hand that I run really downstairs in the studio or the basement or the wine cellar, and you got just so much house.
It's the only home big enough to put Jolé's paintings in.
Yeah, and truthfully, and we got, without no exaggeration, we have over $1 million worth of Jolé's paintings and on our homes, and we're going to get an art gallery anyway to put his stuff. But beside that, so back to Mr. C.
Yeah.
And I'm glad. So the next book that you're doing, the next book that's coming out is when?
Should be out the first of the year.
No kidding.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I had a great time with you on the show. You know what I mean? There's a certain camaraderie with Italians.
I got to tell you a funny story.
Go ahead, tell me.
Me and my wife have been married 40 years.
Oh, my God.
A couple days ago. So, she knows the shows I'm doing and everything. So I came home that afternoon from doing your show, and I was on the website. Okay? My wife said, "Oh, is that the show you did today?" I said, "Yeah, that's it. Great show." I said, "A lot of fun." She says to me, "I didn't know the woman was so beautiful." I said, "Well, what do you want me to tell you?" What do you want me to say?
Yeah, Sandy in 1976 was in Miss America. She was Miss Nevada in the Miss America pageant.
Really?
Yes. Yep.
Wow.
Sandy was great.
But anyway, that was the extent of it. And I'll tell you, these are with all the other stuff I do, be it on the networks or whatever. This is fun. This is lay back and just have an hour of good talk with good people, and just have fun.
Well, we appreciate everything that you do. We love that when you came here. And again, like I said to you, this Friday, Mr. Cash will be and Mr. Phillips will be at the restaurant, and they interview people, and they're with me every week. You know, and for anybody that's out there, I mean, when they come in, I give them that shot for businesses, because if you have to go, I tell you what, call the studio, see how much they want to advise, and Jeff Fisher, get your ass down at Sienna's to get that free club. I'm telling you,
9500 West Sahara.
9500 West Sahara. I got Jimmy Meloduro on sax. Jimmy's from New York, the best saxophone player in the world. He was with Sinatra, Elvis Presley. I got Joey Vespi on drums, who was with Louis Prima for 15 years. I got Chad Michaels, unbelievable piano player. If you like Oscar Peterson, you will love him. And I got Lou Spider. I can't mention his last name. The IRS is after him. No, I'm going to tease you there. I got Lou Spider on bass, who is one of the best bass players around. I got David DaCosta with me. And this week, because it's a grand opening for the restaurant, the Supper Club, I got T. Fox will be with me, Sandy, myself. What a phenomenal show. We do a tribute to Louis Prima. We do all the Italian songs. We do Way Marie. We do When You're Smiling, all those numbers. And then Joey and I do a tribute to Gene Krupa and Buddy Rich. And I mean, it's unbelievable. And I'm telling you,
I used to have the albums with them facing each other with the drum battles.
Unbelievable. It is great. And like I said, what we try to do is keep that music alive. And for those people that are out there that have a business, want a business, looking for a business, come on down to Sienna's. We'll give you that opportunity to put you on the air, which is really nice. Because again, like I'm saying, it's expensive to get on. I don't have to tell you, Mr. C, you know that. Anytime you come over here, where KLAV radio or the other radio stations that are out there, or television, you're looking at big money. You're looking at big money, and people want to get out there. And then they come in for, like, they have these shows, they come in for 1 hour once a week. Who's going to listen to them outside their mother and father? We got 5 days a week that we're here every single day. And what happens is it's that recidivistic, attitude where we're here and people listen in all the time. Everybody listens in. So anyway, we thank you for calling in. I love you, Mr. C. I got to get you back in to talk about the new book. Is there anything else that you want to go over before we say thank you, Mr. C?
No, thank you very much. I enjoyed this tremendously. And take care, Ricky and Aaron. Talk to you guys, too.
We'll see you soon, huh?
We'll see you soon. I hope to see you Friday. Please come down with the wife. You'll have a great time.
All right. I'll talk to you guys very soon. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, Paisan. State bona. Now, in Italian, folks, state bona means stay well. So when you say that, I would say state bona.
Set the bona.
Say state bona.
Set the bona.
Yeah, state bona. I mean stay well. Now, if you say to somebody, come here for a second, a lot of people say, vieni qua. Say that.
Vieni qua.
Vieni qua. That means come here in Italian. Mm-hmm. Or my neighbor would say, Gandaweo. I'll say, hey, Mr. Phillips, Gandaweo. That means, hey, come here. Come here, I need to tell you something. But these are East Coast Italian dialects where it's gone.
They don't say it out here, right?
Gone. Forget about it. It's
Nobody
gone.
talks that way.
Like I said, saying that we live in Canyon Gate, you know what I mean? And again, we've been blessed. I mean, they're $1 million homes. The bottom line, I can count on one hand that people that I have seen, first of all, you're not allowed to stay out on your driveway. Can't leave your driveway door open. Your trash has got to be out 12 hours before, which they said, if you park on the wrong side of the street, it's a $25 ticket. I said to myself, I paid $5 million for a house. You're telling me where to park, what you can do, what you can't do. That is the HOAs. That's what it is. Me, I guess I'm from the old school. I like a neighborhood. I like to walk out and see, hey, Jimmy, how you doing? Mary, how's everything? Hey, Sal, what's going on over there? You know what I mean? I like that, and in California, they have some of those neighborhoods. And there is a few neighborhoods here in Las Vegas. But basically, people go in, they opened up their garage door, they pulled their cars in, that garage door comes down. You don't see them at all. It's amazing. And it's sad that the neighborhoods is gone, especially for children, especially for kids, and anyway, so much for that. But anyway, I want to turn over the dais right now to two phenomenal men because they got something that they want to unwrap. And I hope it is a corned beef sandwich with some kosher pickles.
You and me too.
And Russian dressing. I got to have a lot of Russian dressing. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, from New York City, from the Bronx, Staten Island, Mr. Phillips and Mr. Cash.
All right.
What an introduction.
Wow, when those two phenomenal men show up,
hold on. That's not enough applause. Open that curtain for the other people. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
We've got some good unwrapped treasures today. Should be interesting, and especially sitting here with Mike. We miss Sandy though.
Can I tell you something real quick?
Seriously, we miss her. She's so great.
Just her on the voice. Nothing like a team. And I'll say this again: if she stops, I'm done. Thank you very much, folks. It's been wonderful. I'm not kidding you. I mean, I know people like it, but between the two of us, it's like you two guys. It's like mustard. It's like a relationship. We're like mustard and ketchup, salt and pepper. Horseradish and beets. I don't know what I'm saying.
Speaking of horseradish and beets,
let her rip.
Later on today at 12 o'clock, you can eat, laugh, and be well. Senior Nutrition Workshop with a free lunch.
Free lunch?
Co-sponsored by Nevada Senior Services. This is in the large conference room at the Clark County Library, 1401 East Flamingo Road. For reservation, space is limited. You must give them a call very soon at 702-507-3458.
Wow, we go from a nutrition workshop to a pole expo.
Hey, how did you plan that one?
2014 pole expo. When I first saw it, I said, wow, the pole dancing. And he said, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Can't believe it. At the Palms, it's Thursday through Sunday at the Palms. The Palms Expo is a 3.5.
Pole expo.
What's a 3.5?
3.5.
Okay. It's an alternative fitness event hosting competition, showcase. It's got everything. It's got vendors, workshops, seminars, instructors. 1,200 attendees from 30-plus countries are all going to be doing pole dancing.
We may have to give up the show Thursday night to go down there.
Let's go.
Do a live show from
Let's
there.
do a live remote.
Absolutely.
Anyway, it's a good thing. It costs a fortune. If you have it, go. If you don't, forget about it.
It really isn't. But for more information, you can check out their website at poleexpo.com.
I'm still excited about the polls.
I know you are. Las Vegas Stories, the glamorous life of Corinne and Trotter Sidney. She was a Copa girl, and she was part of the Rat Pack. This is Thursday night, also September 4th at 7 p.m. at the Jewel Box Theater, also down at the Clark County Library at 1401 East Flamingo Road. Again, this continues their monthly series of the history of Las Vegas, the people, places, and things that make Vegas our home.
I wonder if our buddy Michael knew Corinne and Trotter Sidney.
I don't know. But if they don't go there, of course, they can listen to us on Thursday nights from 7 to 9 p.m.
What a shameless,
on VegasAllNetRadio.com.
What a shameless plug.
Absolutely.
You know what this Friday is?
It's the first Friday of the month.
First Friday, Art District, downtown Las Vegas.
Yep.
Attend First Friday, an ongoing arts, entertainment, social block party held the first Friday of each month in the Las Vegas Art Districts. Enjoy cool local art, live music, street performances, and admission is free. Free. We love free.
Best price there is out there. Now, this is another shameless plug because if you're looking for something to do Saturday morning and to support the World War II veterans, Honor Flight of Southern Nevada has their semi-annual pancake breakfast fundraiser from 7 to 11 a.m. at the Red Rock Harley-Davidson on the corner of Rainbow and Sahara. Tickets are only $5 per person. Money's raised. Help on the cost for WW2 veterans make their first ever trip to Washington to visit the war memorials. If you want more information, please visit honorflightsouthernevada.org. You and I will be there from 8 to 10 doing a live show.
Yeah, I was just going to say, can you imagine that? When we did this, back in the spring, it was really moving. These are all 80-plus-year-old guys that have never been to Washington, D.C. They pay for the entire trip, the weekend. It's not for the spouses. And they go there and they visit the World War II Memorial. Can you imagine the emotion that brings out in those people?
I get the chills.
I'm telling you, it's an amazing thing. We're excited about it, too. Caring for You, Caring for Me, Caregiver Education Series is co-sponsored by the Nevada Senior Services and Nevada Health and Human Services Aging and Disability Services Division. What a mouthful.
Their business card.
Yeah, Saturday, September 6th at the large conference room at, guess where?
The library.
Of course, Clark County Library, 1401 East Flamingo. And it's workshops that are really going to provide help for caregivers. Now, you want to talk about perhaps one of the hardest, most difficult, emotional jobs out there. It's a caregiver that has to provide this type of service for the sick and infirmed, and usually people that are quite frankly, on their way out. It's got to be one of. I don't think I could do it, but once again, it's a tremendous. This workshop will help people that have to face this kind of thing.
So after you come down to Honor Flight, you can go down there. Are you into cars? Anybody into cars?
I like the old cars. I love the 60s cars. I bet Mike loves the 60s cars.
Hot Vegas Nights Car Show, Saturday night, September 6th, or Saturday, September 6th, starting at 11 a.m. down at the Orleans Arena. It's on the Harmon parking lot side at 4500 West Tropicana Avenue, of course. Spectator tickets are $5 plus taxes and convenience fees and can be purchased by calling the Orleans Arena box office at 702-284-7777. The Hot Vegas Nights Car Show is presented by Strictly Muscle Car Club. Will feature American muscle cars of all years. Food, beverages, music, vendors, and awards will be presented for Best in Show contestants.
All right, here's my last one.
Last one.
Yeah, Thank God.
We're gonna go from cars to having a wine walk.
Yeah.
How do you like the wine walk?
As long as you don't drive and drink the wine.
No, the Village Lake of Las Vegas, Saturday, September 6th, 7 to 10 p.m. Call a cab when you're done.
That's right.
Admission $25 in advance, $30 at the door. Join us for the wine walk, right? And it's going to be really good.
I mean, Mug and David wine, too.
That's right. Guaranteed not to get drunk on Mug and David or Manischewitz.
Yeah, Passover is coming soon. Actually, it's not. But
no, Rosh Hashanah is coming up in a couple of weeks.
So that's it for me. You got one last one?
One last one. Are you ready?
You got it.
All right, here we go. The Literature of Life stage presentation of The Things They Carried. A lot of stuff going on Saturday, September 6th at 7 p.m. Free and open to the public. Historic 5th Street School at 401 South 4th Street. Enjoy a pre- and post-show discussion. For more information, contact Bobby at 702-800-4670 or www.artlasvegas.org. And if you're into the outdoor picture show down at Green Valley Ranch,
you know it.
The Lego Movie is this week's feature presentation.
And if you're a sports fan, the Rebels open this Saturday night against Northern Colorado. The Rebels.
They play.
Oh, come on.
I thought they play flag football.
The way they looked against Arizona, you might have well thought.
Unbelievable.
Well, we did pick them both to win this week, so they better win.
So let's go Rebels.
Well, that's great. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Davis and Mr. Phillips. And these two guys are with me this Friday. Only this Friday at the Siennas because they remodeled and it's a grand opening. Then we're going to go back to Wednesday. You know, something I want to say. Johnny, give me a little close-up shot if you can. Could you give me a little close-up on that, buddy?
You're there.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Whole face.
You know, coming to this radio station every day, Sandy and I, it's a difficult situation because what we tried to do is we tried to bring happiness, fun, on the edge type of stuff because there was a time, there was no TV, it was radio. And everybody and their mothers, and I remember my grandfather listened. He turned on that radio to whatever station that you want. There's a lot of great programs that are out there. I stress everybody listens to KLAV. It's a wonderful program, wonderful people here. And when you're feeling depressed and you're feeling down, the only thing that we tried to do, just so you know, is to lift your spirits up. It's hard to be funny every day. Because these days, folks, trust me, I don't feel funny. Sometimes I don't feel like telling a joke or coming in. But I say to myself, there's people that are out there that are listening. They get up in the morning at 9 o'clock in the morning and they turn me on. Some people like me, some people don't. Some people like what I say. Some people say, oh my God, hear what this guy just said. I don't mean to offend anybody, okay? What I'm here to do is to entertain you, to make you have a great time. And that's what's important. Because I'm going to tell you something. If I had Aladdin's lamp and I had one wish to make, well, I wouldn't wish for caviar or any special dish. I wouldn't wish for dollars. Believe it, yet in dollars I have few. I'd wish to always have an audience as wonderful and as lovely as every one of you. So don't ever forget that. And I really mean that with all sincerity. I say that with now see the serious piece came out of me. Hey, lady, get out of the bathroom and call me. Anyway, but I'm glad that you made us number one. We're so very happy that we're going to go to television, and which is really, really excited. I'm very, very excited that we're going to TV. So now we can go. We're going to be on Channel 6. We're going to be at 11 o'clock in the morning. We can sit back and you can watch us. And again, like I mentioned, you know, these two guys here, I mean, there's a certain camaraderie, a certain magic. You know, Louis Prima had a magic with Sam Butera and Kelly Smith. Jerry Lewis had a magic with Dean. Frank, Sammy, Dean, that Rat Pack, there was a magic. When I'm performing, I got myself and Sandy. There's a magic there when we're performing. David DaCosta jumps in. Kid's phenomenal. Many times, Peter Pavone. Excellent singer. Wherever he's at, go see this kid. You know, and like I said so many times, there's so much great entertainment in Las Vegas, and these people are always trying. And I commend every person that's out there, from every walks of life, every lounge act, from the casinos to these bars to these restaurants, that realize that entertainment is the key to success. Not only the food, but it's the food, the customer service, and the entertainment. And I really mean that with all sincerity. So what you need to do is you need to support them. Fellas, you know, you did a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
And there's no words to express my sincere appreciation for coming on the show. You know, and I'm so glad that the Queen will be back. You don't try to say anything because, yes, can I do this? Without a question. Is it fun? Without a question. But again, for me, it's like the meatball. I got the spaghetti without the meatballs. You know what I mean? And as funny as it may seem, I'm a sandwich guy. Give me a brazout sandwich. Give me a corned beef. You know, I mean, hey, do you remember the corned beef that had the fat on it? Today they cut it off. I said, what are you doing? That's the flavor. Am I right?
Absolutely.
That's the flavor, you know? And I hope that Mr. Phillips and Mr. Cash will reach into the heart for Passover because, man, I haven't been to as a Seder, am I saying that correctly?
That's right.
In years.
You will be this year.
Thank
Brush
you.
up on your Hebrew then.
What's that? Well, you know something? I'm going to sing Yiddish Yemama.
Okay.
Right.
For everybody at the table. I'll take my guitar and I will wear my yarmulke. And I could tell you something. I wear that with respect.
I know you do.
And I really mean that. Because if I had to come back if I had another life to live and I had to come back as any other nationality, believe it or not, it would be black. No, it would be a combination of Italian, black, Irish.
So you'd come back as Sammy Davis.
I'd come back, maybe about Sammy. I mean, come back as a full. No, but as far as culture is concerned,
sure.
You know, the Jewish culture, because like I said, the food, Italian people and Jewish people take food serious. Am I right or wrong?
The grandmoms, the sisters.
We take it serious.
Right.
We take it serious. There's a movie, I said this before, you need to go rent it. I don't know where you're going to get it at. It's called Fatso.
It
was Dom DeLuise that was on that, and it was the most phenomenal movie I've ever seen, because I remember when my father passed away and my sister was crying, I had a bowl, I had a pot, I was making udrip. And now for the
were you making what?
Udrip. It's menudo.
Menudo. It's udrip.
Yeah,
I thought that was Mexican.
It is. Well, it's the same thing. Menudo is the stomach of the cow.
Yeah, right.
But the Italians, well, a lot of people say I don't eat it, but it's, it's okay.
Hey,
but
it's
all right. It's called udrip, but it's delicious.
Right.
And I remember my sister coming in the kitchen. She was crying. Daddy died, but my father was sick. He was a diabetic, and unfortunately, he cheated. You know what I mean? And I felt bad for him. He knocked Cokes down, and I would hear the icebox open up. My mother would say, "Louie, what are you doing down there?" "No, I'm getting a glass of water." And he, when he died, we went through his clothes. We had to pack everything up.
Right.
He had candy bars. I'm serious.
All the hidden stash.
And and it was sad, and that's what killed him. He was a diabetic, and he killed himself by eating the sweets. He couldn't stop eating the cannolis and the cereals, all the stuff that he couldn't eat. And I remember my sister, to finish the story, I said, "Sis, don't cry." And she was crying. So I got a loaf of, it was Italian bread on the table. And I cut the piece of bread and I stuck it in the sauce. And I said, "Here, come on, take a bite. You'll feel better." And she's crying. And as she bit into the bread with the sauce, she calmed down and she looked at me. She said, "This is good." She said, "Amazing." So if you watch that movie, it's like a comfort food, amazing, absolutely amazing. I got to tell you something. Today was a very relaxed, wonderful, wonderful time. No words to express my sincere appreciation for co-hosting the show with me, coming in a half hour earlier.
No problem.
I want to thank Mr. Colucci that's out there. I always mention our very special friends. You know who? Who are they?
The billionaires, the Grossos.
The what?
The Grossos, the billionaires.
The billionaires. But they're not billionaires.
They're trillionaires.
They're trillionaires. That's what they are.
Yesterday, yeah.
And Lisa's so happy because she's counting her shoes. She's got more shoes than a Mango Macos. What's her name?
Imelda,
whatever. What did I say? A Mango Macos.
Now you know what I go through with you.
Oh, my God. That's unbelievable. I'm going to say a special thanks to everybody from KL KLE. Don't forget the WEMA organization, Sandy's organization. We need your support. It's $35. It's going to be on the third Saturday of the month, the last Saturday of the month, the third Saturday.
I want to go. Primarily, I've been there before, but you get Chef Michael's cooking there, and unbelievable.
Yes, and it's open bar, $25 a ticket, and you know something, and you guys can attest to it. Everybody goes home with a platter. I give the platters because I make so much food. I want people to take it home. It was. John said he ate for 2 days. Carl Grasso does the same thing. Carl goes, Lisa doesn't cook. Lisa just picks up a phone and orders.
Right.
Carl pays for it, but that's okay. And I always make. What did I make for Carl a couple of days ago? I made the lobster and the shrimp and the soup de pesca, we call it.
Right.
The Italian stuff. And I said, Carl, you want to come over and grab? No, he said, I'm counting my money. I can't. Well, that guy's gonna eat us. You know what I mean? I'm burying my money in my yard. I got it stuffed in the tailpipe. Anyway, I said, okay, I'll see you later. But I went in my car. I came over to the house and I gave him a dish of pasta with the shrimp and the real Italian. He enjoyed it. And and I love the guy. The Pascals I love. Perco, Jolie, that whole gang. And like I said to you, it's nice to have friends. Friends are very important. Get your friends and keep them close, ladies and gentlemen. And if something happens, seriously, let it roll off your back because it's hard to find friends today. And family. So I say it all the time, forgive the ones that hurt you. Pray for the ones that went against you. And keep the ones that you love close. Go out and buy them lunch. What the hell's the difference if they're cheap like Evan Davis? What's the difference? You know what I mean? He don't care because here's another guy's got a barrel of money. He's got his recess money from school, and you could tell him I said that.
You know what I heard, Mike?
Yes, buddy.
I heard this expression. Friends are family that you meet along the way.
You're right.
It's great.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. I hope you had a great time. Tomorrow the Queen will be back, and I can really have some fun. Sandy, I love you. Come back and save me. We love you, everybody. Thanks so much for picking up the phone, calling. If we didn't get a chance to talk to anybody, you're still going to get your show tickets. We thank you so very much. John Stiles, you're great. KLAV, you're the best. See you tomorrow, everybody. Bongo salud. Don't forget Friday at Sienna's Totally Italian Restaurant with Giancarlo.